many times have you said to yourself, sometimes in a day, week, months, is this all there is? Is this what I'm destined to do? You feel a bigger calling, but you just aren't sure how to get there. Hi, I'm Karen Barno, and I help women leaders heal their past to rediscover who they are so they can bring that most powerful woman back to the forefront. She got buried along the way. She got buried in, who knows, trauma, divorce, separation, job loss, parental loss, people criticizing you, people judging you. And over the years, you've kind of lost who that person is. I help you rediscover it. I help you find your blue rose. Now, I feel like I can relate to where you are because I've been there. I was so lost and confused. I was drinking all the time. I'm a CEO of an organization that I founded. And I was still drinking all the time. I felt like a pretender, like I didn't belong. I was, not performing to my fullest capacity because I kept telling myself they're going to figure it out. They're going to know you don't belong here. They're going to know you're not smart enough. Until I finally sat down and said, I have got to figure out who I am. And then I discovered the blue rose, and I thought, that's it. The blue rose, it's that magical part of who I really am. And it's taken me over the past couple of years since 2021, 2022 to really step into my calling. I've quit drinking. I'm much happier. I'm much healthier. And I realize I want to help women such as yourself get to this point, to figure out what was the blocks, what was causing me to eat so much and to drink so much and to be filled with so much self-loathing. And once I figured that out, it was like turning your car on. Your battery dies, and so the guy comes and he puts in a new battery, and you turn your car and it starts up and everything's beautiful again. That's how I felt when I was sitting on the side of the road in this massive rainstorm trying to figure out what happened. How did I get here? And when I had that visitor, that spiritual visitor who said, let's get to work on this, let's figure this out, it was amazing. So I really want to help you. So your blue rose is really your essence. It's who you truly were. You remember that little girl that you were, that little boy you were, but you're standing there and you're 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, and you're in that pose and you're like, I can do this. I can do anything. And then over time you're being told, no, not really. You can't really do that. No, you're not really that smart. No, you have a speech impediment. No, you're kind of chubby. No, that's, boys do that. Girls don't do that. And you lose that essence. It's also your deepest desire. It's that dream. It's that dream that comes to you late at night when you're laying in bed and you're thinking, what if? Or what if I did this? Or what if I did that? That's your blue rose trying to talk to you. That's your blue rose helping you, trying to get you to pull it back out. That's the magic of it. Because within, you're not standing in your power. You're shrinking. You're hiding. You've been to one too many board meetings where somebody's yelled at you. You've been one too many meetings where people are like, you're not very smart if you can't figure that out. Or one too many times people have said, why are you here? Yeah, I don't know why you're here. Or how'd you get that job? What do you mean you founded this assisted living company and you have 30 properties? How did you do that? Huh? I mean, we've all heard the comments. I've had people say to me, hey, so-and-so, she does this and this. I'll be like, yeah. How? I'll be like, what do you mean how? And they'll be like, she just doesn't seem like, I don't know. It's like, she doesn't seem like she's masculine enough. Is that it? So then we hide our deepest desire. So what is your deepest desire? I always ask people when I coach women, I always say to them, what's the dream? And the dream will flash like that. And then they'll start telling me other ones, but I can see it. I can see it in their eyes when they get that dream. And then they push it to the side. No, we don't want to talk about that. That's your deepest desire. And then you have to discover, the blue rose helps you find the power within that's always been there. That power, that strong badass that's always been there, but kind of got a little bit, less batty-asser over the years. Because again, you allowed other people's opinions. You let, the imposter syndrome sink in. You let all this stuff sink in. But your blue rose is waiting to be discovered. Many women over 45, I don't know what happens to us when we turn 45, but many women over 45 feel stuck, disconnected, unfulfilled, and they're waiting to figure it out. And, they read all these books. If you could see my library, you'd die. We read all these books and we go to all these seminars and we all want to, learn the newest theory, Jamie Lee Curran's Unworthy, Mel Robbins, Let Them, The Secret, Think It and Believe It, Oprah, Super Soul Sunday. And we're seeking the answers, but it's because it's hard for us to admit the answer's here. Who we want to be is here. We just have to step into that person. So let's kind of do this. Let's do the 3 steps to find your blue rose. We're going to do it real quick. I'm not going to keep you here all the time. And like I think I said earlier, if not, I'm going to do a video a day for 30 days. I've been doing 3-minute or 4-minute video snippets. And I've realized actually somebody told me, you're not serving anybody by doing 3-minute videos. Let's get into the long form. So she challenged me. She said, there's no way you can do 30 videos in 30 days. There's just no way, not with your schedule. And I'm like, watch me, game on. So we put a little bet down on it, got a nice little dinner for me because I will win, because I have the belief now. If she would have said that to me 3 years ago, I would have been like, well, I'm going to try, but I'm really busy. And I don't know, I don't really have anything to say. Now I'm like, game on, let's bring it on. So step 1 to finding your blue rose is heal your inner beliefs. What story are you telling yourself? When you get nervous, what story are you telling yourself? When you get ready to go into that big meeting, what story are you telling yourself? When you're getting ready to pour that glass of wine at night, because you deserve a glass of wine, what story are you telling yourself? Because the stories you're telling yourself is what's keeping you small. The story of, wow, I kind of messed up in that meeting. Everybody stood up and I didn't know you were supposed to stand up, or, I gave my opinion, I voiced my opinion and everybody else disagreed with me. So clearly I'm in the wrong. Or, I thought we were dressing down. Everybody was dressed up. I thought it was 2. I showed up at 3, all that stuff. And you just sit and beat yourself up about it all night long until you're on a glass of wine, 3 or 4. And you think, well, it couldn't have been that bad. What are you telling yourself? And then get out a piece of paper. There's some exercises here. I should have made note of that. Get out a piece of paper and write down the 3 beliefs about yourself. Just what comes into your mind quickest. For me, it was, I'm not smart enough. I can't keep up with everybody. I'm a pretender. I'm an imposter. They're going to figure out I don't get this. I don't speak as clearly as everybody else. When I said I was going to do podcasts, I had somebody that I liked, that I thought we were pretty good friends. And she's like, you're going to do a podcast? Really? The way you stumble over your words and, you're not always clear. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do a podcast. They can figure it out. They can read along because it's my calling. But 3 years ago, before that side of the road moment, I would have been like, you're right. Who am I to do a podcast? But when I healed that belief, when I healed that big overarching belief that I do belong, I am smart enough, that nobody can shame me, nobody can make me feel bad. I just went through an episode about 2 months ago where everybody was on me because this person was saying all this stuff and everybody was on me. And 2 or 3 years ago, Karen would have drank herself every night. And I would have been like, man, they're right. I really did screw that up. Maybe I did make a mistake. This Karen was like, I told you guys the facts. I'm sorry I didn't like them. That's what happens when you heal those beliefs. So, write down, what are your top three ones? And if it's, I'm not good enough, it is, I am learning to embrace my power. I'm not smart enough. I am learning to accept my brilliance. I am willing to stand in my power. I'm not articulate enough. I am willing to talk in my true voice and let the chips fall where they may. I am willing to be my best every day, whether people accept it or not. So reframe your beliefs. If you have the belief that, at one time I weighed 223 pounds. So I would use that as an excuse. Well, I can't go to the meeting because I'm too heavy. But that was my belief system. Until one day I was like, you know what, Karen, you're perfect. Sure, we might need to shed some weight for health reasons, but you're perfect. So show up. And so I would tell myself before I'd go into the meeting, I'd be like, I'm here to show up. I've got something I have something to contribute. It doesn't matter the size of me. All that matters is who's within. And I'm telling myself, and now I only have 15 pounds left to lose. I've lost like 70 pounds because I quit using that as my excuse. I quit feeling like I needed the weight to protect me. Because I told myself, I don't need weight to protect me. I will protect me. I don't need weight on so people won't look at me. I want them to look at me. I want them to look at me in a positive way. So when you're reframing your beliefs, when you tell yourself you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, whatever it is, reframe it that you're perfect. You're a child of the Creator, of God, of Spirit, whatever you want to call it. So of course you're perfect. Because when you find your blue rose, you accept yourself. Do I have flaws? Oh, hell yeah. I have a lot of flaws. But I accept them. And if they don't bother me, I live with them. If they bother somebody else, oh well. But if they bother me, then I'm willing to change. So reframe the way you talk about your beliefs. Step 2, reconnect to your soul's desire. Look within. What truly lights you up? What gets you going? If you're one of those people that, my sister loves numbers. That gets her going. She's really good at it. She'll sit there all day long doing numbers. I look at her and I want to throw up. The last thing I want to do is numbers. I did not get that skill set from my dad. I am not a numbers person. You tell me how much we have in the bank. You tell me what the bills are. I'll go from there. She's a numbers person. But she'll look at me and be like, I can't believe you've written the books. And I've written, they're over there. I've written a couple books. To me, I love to write. What is it that truly lights you up? And start doing it. The job I have truly lights me up. Helping educate people about assisted living and not to overregulate us or regulate us like a nursing home lights me up. Coaching women leaders to help them have that aha moment, that moment when they understand, oh. And from that point on, they are unstoppable. That lights me up. So I want you real quick here, and you can do this. I mean, you have it on a podcast, so you can do it later. Close your eyes and imagine your perfect day. Free of judgment, free of limitations, just free of money worries, nothing. It is your perfect day. And close your eyes and just imagine it. Take 3, 4, 5 minutes. You can put your phone on and start a clock for it. And take 3 or 5 minutes and just imagine it. How do you wake up? What time do you wake up? What do you do when you wake up? If you eat breakfast, what are you eating for breakfast? Is it healthy? Does it make you happy? Do you have a morning routine that brings joy into your life? Then when you go to work, what do you do when you first get to work? And maybe your perfect day is you don't go to work. Maybe your perfect day is spending time at the beach, spending time with your family. Just run through it. And then when you get there, when you put your head on your pillow at the end of your perfect day, give your blessings and let it go. And then write it down. Or just run it over. I have my perfect day. And if you know me, it always involves an ocean. It always involves me looking at the ocean. I'm a Scorpio, I'm a water, so I need that ocean to fill me. But it's helping women. My perfect day is helping people. That's why I'm in the job I'm in. Because if I can help people in assisted living, it fills my soul. So what is your perfect day? And then I want you to remember what you dream about, what you daydream about, is what you want. Our daydreams are what we really want. I was just daydreaming. You're daydreaming about what you want. So the things you daydream about, the things you long for, is where your blue rose is hidden. Your blue rose is right in front of you. It's your daydream. What's that dream? What's that, gosh, when I have enough money, or I put enough time in, or I've had all my ifs, and ifs, I'm going to do this. Maybe it's time to do it now. Maybe it's time to quit ifting yourself to death or shoulding yourself to death. I should, and do it. Because once you start on the path of finding your blue rose, once you find your blue rose, you'll know it because the days seem brighter. Everything seems brighter. And I'm not saying negativity doesn't come into your life. Of course it does. Of course it does. We all have those days when you come home from work and you're like, oh, I have to go down to the legislature today to testify on the bill. So it's like, but at least now I've learned how to go in and say, I get to educate people on this bill. If they listen, great. And if they don't agree with me, that's fine too. That's why we have a lobbyist. So think of the daydream and step into it. And then finally, take bold aligned action. Share with yourself that your blue rose isn't just about dreaming, it's about stepping into it. So what are you going to do right now? After listening to this podcast, what are you going to do to step in to your blue rose? What action are you going to take? because one single action starts momentum. Then you take a second action, then you take a third action. So what action is going to keep you going? Never leave the scene of a decision without an action. Never. Whenever you make a decision, take an immediate action, because otherwise you're going to make a decision and then 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 days later, you're going to talk yourself out of it. When you make that decision, take immediate action. And then start to say, small actions build momentum. And learn how to say no to things that drain you. Somebody put a book out. I think Shonda Rhimes put a book out a couple years ago called The Year of Yes. This year, 2025, believe it or not, is a year of no. I am learning how to say no. Do I want to go to that event? No. Do I want to go to that conference? No. Do I want to go out to dinner? No. Do I want to do this? Yes. Because the more times I say no, I'm clearing space for my yeses. And I'm able to focus more on my yeses. So learn, and women, we don't do well with no's. We struggle with no because we never learned that boundary. Guys have no trouble with it. You want to go out to dinner? Nope, I'm good. You want to do this? Nope, I'm watching football. You want to do that? Nope. But women, it's like when we say no, it's like, well, unless you really want to. I mean, I don't really want to go, but if you want to go, then we'll go. That's not no. No is no. I mean, when I told my husband I was doing a year of no, he just looked at me like, really? Yeah, that was crazy. So the first day, New Year's Day, he says, hey, do you want to go do this? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, hey, do you want this for dinner? I'm like, no. And he's like, is everything going to be no? And I'm like, no. I'm like, no. But, I'm not going to do what I don't want to do. Now we're halfway through February, he gets it. Now when he says, do you want to do this? And I look and say, nope. He'll be like, okay. Now if I say, no, I don't think so. That, that's like, give me space, because I might turn no into a yes. Then say yes when the opportunity is aligned with your desires. Not when the opportunity aligns with everybody else's desires. When they align with your desires. And then speak your truth. Gosh, this is hard. Speak your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. If something is driving you crazy, speak the truth and say, this is driving me crazy. If it's at your job, then you need to pull, if it's one of your bosses, you need to sit down and say, listen, I really need to have a heart-to-heart with you, because how you talk to me or how you do this or how you do that isn't aligned with me. Now, again, I run an association, so I have a board of directors. So every time I get a new chair, we sit down and say, okay, how are we going to communicate? How are we going to handle all this? Because we get, every chair is different. And that way I know what their expectations are, but I can also tell them what mine are. Don't call me at 8 o'clock at night and say you want me to send something out to the board unless it's really important. Sending out to the board, hey, don't forget our happy hour in 2 weeks, may not align with doing it at 10 o'clock at night. Hey, we have a bill being heard at 9 o'clock in the morning. Please don't forget to get your slips in. That's important. So speak your truth. And then remember, the more you act in alignment with your blue rose, the more you stand in your power with your blue rose, the more you understand who you are when you're in your blue rose, the more life will open up to you. So listen, I got a call to action, you guys. Your blue rose is within you. The question is, are you ready to claim it? Are you ready to step into it? I want you to put in the comments below, wherever you're listening to this on, whether it's on LinkedIn, like I said, it's going to be posted the link in the first couple of days. And then after that, it'll only be posted in my free group on Facebook, Find Your Blue Rose, but also on my YouTube channel, Karen Barno. What's the one thing that you're going to claim? And then in the comments, what lights you up? But what have you been too afraid to pursue? What do you really want to do, but you're too afraid to say it out loud? When I told people I was going to write books, they were like, really? When I told people that I was going to start coaching, well, most of them were like, yeah, but I had one person be like, really? Huh? What lights you up? What makes you jam? And then follow me. Like I said, I'm going to do this for the next 30 days. I'm going to do a video a day. And I am determined to do it. So some of these videos might get posted at midnight, but they're going to get done. So follow along. And then tomorrow we're going to delve into another topic. It'll be a carryover from Find Your Blue Rose. I should have actually written down what it was, but I did not. I want you to step into your power. I want you to reclaim you. I want you to understand who you're meant to be and start being that person. Because the minute you start being you, it is unbelievable. I cannot tell you how happy I am today versus 2 years ago, sitting on the side of the road in October. How much happier I am today than I was then. Let me know if you have any comments, and here's to you. And I'm Karen Barno, and here's to you finding your blue rose.